Hi, my name is Jim Bala. I'm the SnowDogg Tech here at Byers Products. Today's video is the installation of our low profile LED heated lights. What's nice about this video is that we're going to show you the installation. What also is nice is we have an older truck here, and what we're going to do is we're going to replace our old halogen plow lights with the new low profile lights. The low profile lights part number is 16160-900. So make sure you remember that number so you can buy many of them. So let's go and look at the tools we need for the installation. So the tools we're going to need today for the installation is some wire cutters, a razor knife, wire strippers, dielectric grease, we got a crimping tool, screwdriver, we got some black ties, if I can pick them up, and you'll need a 3/4 inch socket to take the lights off and put the lights on. So that socket is going to be used to mount them. We also have a gun drill with a 10mm socket on it, and also this has a 10mm socket on it too. Those will be used. We got to take the headlight out of this truck to get to the relay box. So we're going to need those. On a normal basic installation, you would not need those because the relay box might be in a different position. Also, I got some electrical tape, a heat gun because we got a heat shrink, some connectors, and the most important thing is my cheaters because as you get older, you can't really see well. So I'm going to need those. Got a rag, and then of course we have our lights here. So with the instructions. So these are the tools we need. So let's go to the truck and get this going. So the first step is we're going to take our halogen lights off. So also, if you hear some noise in the background, we're on site, we're on location today, so there will be some background, but I'm going to try to talk loud enough so you guys can hear me. So the first thing I'm going to do is I just got to cut these black ties off of the harness. Okay. Then I'm going to disconnect the plow lights from the harness. Then I'm going to take our drill gun with our 3/4 inch socket. Make sure it's in reverse. And then I'm just going to take these bolts out. And we just dropped one. So what we'll do is just lift this up. Just got to feed the wire through here. And then we'll do the same thing to the other side. So what we're going to do is we're going to put on the driver's side light. So the first thing we want to do, and I just want to take the nut off. Then you have a lock washer and a flat washer here. You want to take those off too. Again, these lights have 2 mounting bolts. So that gives you a little bit more stability. So I'm going to push it aside. Now at the back here is just two rubber washers. We want that to go right against the light tower. But for that, I got to feed the harness through this large hole. Put that on. Then what I'm going to do, it should set there. I'm going to put the flat washer, lock washer, then the nut on. Just get them started. Same thing with the outside one. Of course, flat washer, lock washer, and the nut. Now on the light, there's you have your 2 bolts coming up, but then you also have 2 adjustments on the side. So once we're all done and everything's all assembled, we're going to adjust that light, so you're actually, shining, straight ahead and on someone's rearview mirror. So I'm also going to feed the harness through this one bracket here. So it's going to feed through there. So what you have here is you have your normal plug-in that will go into this harness. Then you also have this extra little 2-wire connector. Now I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this in a little bit, but that 2-wire connector is going to go to the red and blue wire in this harness. So let's go ahead and snug this light up, and then we'll do the other side. Then we'll turn the plow around, and we'll get a closer view of how we're going to wire the blue and red wire to the red and black wire for our flashers. So we have the plow turned around now, so we're going to focus on the light connection and then this connection here with the 2 wires that control your strobes. So if you look at the harness, the plow side harness, you have the bigger connector, which is going to go, to the light. But then we have a blue and red wire that's sticking out here. On the light end, and they're marked, the red wire says strobe, and the black wire says, the pattern, which means when you press the button in the cab, it changes patterns. So what we're going to do is we're going to hook up the red to red and then the blue to black. It also says this in the instructions too. So let's go ahead. What I'm going to do is going to cut this wire here so I can separate them. So I got those 2 separated. And this here, sometimes you're going to have to probably peel back the electrical tape. But I'm just going to cut it. Of course, try not to cut the wires. So I'm going to peel back. I'm going to get a blue and the red. What I'm going to do is I'm going to strip them. Strip and twist. All right, once that's done, I'm going to strip these. They're stripped a little bit, but it has to go a little bit more. Okay, so once they're stripped, what you get is in the bag that comes with the lights, the LED lights, they're going to give you some shrink connectors. And what I'm going to do is got to open the bag. And you get 4 of them. So 2 for this side and then 2 for the passenger side. So I'm going to put one on here. Again, you got to be careful because these LED wires are really small. So once I get them on there, I'm going to crimp it. Double check. I'm going to do the red wire now. That's crimped. So now I'm going to bring the harness up. And I'm going to attach the red wire to red. So I'm just going to put it in. I have to twist this one a little bit more. Once it's in, I'm going to crimp it. Whoop, double check. Okay, and then I'm going to take the blue wire and go to the black. Gotta make sure the wire's in there. And then crimp. All right, so the next step, since those are connected, the next step I'm going to get my heat gun and we're going to heat it up so the connector shrinks on there, so it'll be waterproof. Then we'll connect it. Again, always make sure you use dielectric grease. And then, like I said, we'll do the other side and go from there. All right, so what I'm going to do now is take my heat gun and just shrink these babies down. Make sure you get all the way around. I think that's pretty good for the red one. You have to get the blue one, blue and black. Go. And you'll just see it suck in. There we go. All right. So again, you're going to do the same thing to the other side. Exactly how I did this side. Again, use dielectric grease, so when we connect it here, then also, you know, you have this little connector to 2 wires we just did. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this now and just tape it up so it looks a lot better. Put some black ties on here and make sure it's you know, secured. So our next step is to run this harness, which is our on-off and our flash pattern harness, through the firewall. So let me pop the hood and we'll start feeding this through. So it looks like the harness has already been run through this one grommet, and so that's where we're going to feed that other harness through there. So sometimes you might need like a like a little bar or round stock or something. And that's what I'm going to use. I'm just going to tape it and I'm going to, you know, shove it through so it makes it through. So let me go get that rod. So we located the harness that's going through the firewall for our lighting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 3/8 rod, it could be 1/4 inch rod, just something. I'm going to shove it through gently because you don't want to tear up anything, and make sure it goes through. Again, be careful of the battery because you don't want to touch the negative positive. You don't want to start welding things. So I'm going to just shove it through, nice and gentle. And once it's through, what I'm going to do is on the other side, I'm going to go take one of the harnesses or one of the wires, tape it to it, I'm going to pull it through. So give me a second. All right, so I took some electrical tape, taped one of the wires onto the rod here, and I'm just going to try to pull it through. You know, hopefully it makes it through. Again, be gentle because we don't want to hurt anything here. I see the tape. I'll get my hand in there better. All right, you got partial. And once I start seeing it, I want to yank it through a little bit. There we go. All right, so that's partial of the wire that we have to bring through. So that's one, so let's go get the other one done. So I got the other harness. So we got one through. And now I'm just gonna, I put the wire through, or the tube through, I taped it up, I'm gonna try to drag it through here. Again, if sometimes you could drill a bigger hole, put this through, but since the grommet's there and one of our harnesses through it, that's why we're just trying to put everything through the same spot. This one's gonna be a little bit more difficult, just because it's a little bit bigger, but hopefully we could get it through here. Again, I gotta just be careful. Oh, I got it. All right, so we got the next one through. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. So I'm gonna take the harness off our rod. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna route these wires to our relay box. So we're gonna look in here and find the relay box and connect these up and then go from there. So looking over the engine compartment and looking for the relay box, looks like they put it kind of behind the headlight a little bit. So I'm gonna have to take a few things off to get to that relay box. Also, I got the 2 harnesses right here. I started running them, and I just want to bring it out a little bit. So let's just take all the grill off, the cover, and the light, and so we can find that relay box. All right, so we got the headlight housing out. Again, you want to rest it somewhere. Of course, this is on this application kind of only. But I located the relay box. So there's our relay box right there. Why do we call it a relay box? Well, inside is 6 relays. So we call it the relay box. Those relays control your low beam, high beam, and turn signals. So what I want to find is the red and white wire coming from the control harness, and it goes to the orange wire that goes to the relay box. So I found that wire here. Okay. Now the other harness we're going to be looking for is the harness that goes out to the grill that's connected to the relay box, and that's right here. You know, the part number for the harness that goes out to the grill is 16160-104. So what I'm going to do, just to make life a little bit easier, is I'm just going to take and look for the blue and red wire right here. Okay, those blue and red wires go all the way down to where I was connecting them at the plow light. So they go from here through the harness, through the connection, all the way up to the lights. So these will be controlling the flash pattern and the power to the flashers on the low profile lights. So let's go ahead and I'm going to cut this back a little bit so I can get a little bit more room. And then I'm going to route these 2 harnesses that we went through the firewall with. I'm going to route them to they could come into the relay box, you know, underneath there. I don't want to route it on the outside, so we're going to route them in the inside. Get them up and then get them to the relay box. So let me go get a razor knife and we'll get going. All right, so we got a little tighter shot now. I'm just going to help out a little bit. So again, blue and red wires, I'm just going to take it and so I can just get a little bit more room, slice it a little bit. Just make it a little bit easier for me to work with. All right, so what I'm going to do is, what goes on these is going to be the connector that has the little heat shrink crimpers on there, little connectors. So they're already on here. So what I'm going to do is just strip these wires, and then red goes to red, black goes to blue. So let me just strip these a little bit. Again, red to red. Okay, and then black to blue. Get a little twist, get it in there better. Even with my eyes on, I can't, there you go. Just had one wire holding me up. All right, so that's connected there. So then what I'm going to do is just take this one end. Again, don't forget to put dielectric grease in. You know, I'm just doing this, you know, for a clip, but you know, push that together. Make sure it snaps in. Then our next thing will be our other harness. Now this has an inline fuse, okay, and it has 2 spade connectors on it, male and a female. So what we're going to do is, and here's the relay box. It has the red and white wire, and it has the orange wire. And this is 12 volt power, okay? So what I'm going to do is take these apart, and then all you have to do is plug one into here. So it doesn't matter which way, but you got to make sure the spade connector is going to work here. Okay, and then the orange wire into this one. Okay, and there you have it. Now that's all powered up. And what am I going to do now? off screen. I'm just going to tuck everything in, tie it up a little bit, and then we're going to put the headlight back in, grill back together, little top cover, and then we're going to see if the lights work. All right, before we tuck everything away, I got two little heat shrink things we got to take care of. All right, that's taken care of. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tuck everything away. I'm going to get the light in, we're going to get the grill on, get this thing back together, see if the lights work. All right, so I got all the wires routed, tied up underneath the dash. The next thing is in this package that we got in the box is a little 3M tape, double-sided tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a location for the on-off switch and flash pattern. So it looks like I'm going to mount it right there, right by my left foot. And now let's see if those lights work. So I'm going to turn the key on, which we need for power. So I'm going to come out here and I'm going to plug the light harness in. So what we have looking at, so we got the flashers going, we got low beam, but let's also check our other signals. So we got turn signals, and then high beam, low beam. And again, there's 5 different patterns of flash on this. So right now we just have it set at this, but there's 5 other different ones. What's nice about these lights is with these flashers in them that you do not have to run other strobes anywhere like out in front. These actually do a great job. They're built in with all the lights. Just a great option. So, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, become part of that SnowDogg family. Need some information? Check out our website, buyersproducts.com. Give us a call, email us. Go buy a dog and go chase a storm.